Josh, do you think that robots are the future of employment?
I could see that. I could see how robots will be
Hmm.
introduced into the future.
Well, the future is happening faster than you think because Amazon is actually growing their robot like forces, their fleet.
And that's
Their
crazy. The robot invasion.
yeah, it starts with Amazon because apparently they have 750,000 robots. I guess you could say employed or like being utilized at all their warehouses as we speak.
That's like a city, by the way.
Yeah. And the other thing is that did you know that Amazon is the second largest private employer of people?
Oh, I do remember that. I think Walmart is like number one, and I think
Mm-hmm.
Amazon's number two.
Well, the crazy thing is that it's oh wow, it's great. Looks like there's more robots to help out the people.
Hmm.
Well, it looks like according to the figures, they replaced 100,000 humans.
Oh, that's crazy. The
Mm-hmm.
I feel like yes, I feel like eventually that is the way that it'll go with
Mm-hmm.
with replacing.
Yeah.
But that's such a large amount of people.
Yeah, so it went from so I thought the crazy thing was that how many people they employ because currently they have 1.5 million people working for them, but it has decreased to decreased from 1.6 million in 2021.
Okay, so yeah, so there's a decrease in people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's starting with the robots.
Yeah, because okay, so here's the thing: so in 2019 they had 200,000 robots, and then in 2022 they had 520,000 robots. So they're steadily increasing their supply of robots. And there's additional information that's pretty interesting as well. But consider hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button. We come out with interesting videos like this one daily. So if you want to stay up to date with interesting topics like this one, consider subscribing. So the crazy one is that they give a figure of how much it costs to employ a robot.
Okay, that's I would
Yeah.
want to know how much it costs.
Can you guess how much it costs to employ a robot?
$7. $7 a
Seven
day.
dollars
A
a
day.
day?
$7 a day.
Actually, you're actually off.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, honestly, it's a bit more than I thought as well because apparently those humanoid robots that we've been seeing that work at Amazon now, the Digit robot. So the Digit robot apparently costs currently $10 to $12 an hour to operate.
$10 to $12, but that's still cheaper than like
Potentially human,
yeah, potentially a human. Yeah,
but these robots can work endlessly, so they don't need
that's
breaks or
true.
anything like that, or healthcare or anything. So that's $10 to $12, out the door. But apparently the cost is projected to go down. So what do you think is the final amount of money? So the CEO of the company that Amazon is like leasing these robots from gave a interesting figure of how much it would cost to have these robots working for them in the future.
I would say if it's like 12 or like 12 $13 right now, maybe maybe nine in the future.
$9?
Yeah, that's a good
You
amount
know,
of
like,
cutting costs per robot.
no, it's even worse than we thought. $2 to $3 an hour
That's crazy.
is
You,
what they
you
expect to have like the running cost.
per day? I can imagine it'd be
Per
day.
hour, so it'd be $2 to $3 per hour.
Okay.
So this is so the way that they calculate is because it's a lot of overhead.
Oh yeah. That
So
makes
there's like the
sense.
software running, and it's all like the back end AI and
That's
other
still
things.
that's still cheaper because if you think about it, you said $2 $3.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Well, that's way cheaper than a person.
yeah, because that's like 48, like 24 hours in a day, 48 hours.
And there's constantly working.
$48. Yeah, constantly working, constantly producing output.
Yeah.
That's crazy, especially with the amount of robots that they do have right now.
Yeah, the crazy. Yeah, they have 750,000 of them already, and these are doing like various tasks, like you like a lot of repetitive tasks, and now they're trying to get them into doing like, as we see here, like he's loading a box. He's like loading these crates with like product.
Yeah.
I mean that used to be a human job.
That used to be a human job, and I think it also does eliminate some of the like human error that could take place.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it probably keeps probably keeps, if this is in a warehouse, it does keep the warehouse more organized. Just having robots that are set for certain places to where they could be like during their whole time frame, as opposed to people that might run like in other places, might go do
Yeah.
different things. So
That is true. Or like during the holiday season, there's always the rush of people buying stuff. So I mean, they won't have to work as much overtime because the robots will,
yeah,
take over.
and the thing is too, typically warehouses, I'm gonna pull the veil a little bit on what happens.
Okay.
Typically what happens if during the peak holiday season, companies go through and they go through and hire more people than they for the holiday season. They hire more people, so these robots could help out with that holiday rush.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is definitely going to be the case, especially because during the holidays, a lot of these companies will pay a lot of money in overtime.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah,
They're like, oh, we need you to stay longer. And people can be making like double time because they're just like grinding out like hours.
it is interesting because you won't have to, if you know the set rate that you're going to be paying them, like the robots.
Yeah.
Then you know how much
You're
exactly
getting it
gonna
factored
be
in. And you already
Yeah.
know how much like margin you have in terms of like bandwidth. Like, oh, like you can actually calculate well, I mean, they can calculate it exactly right now. Like the bandwidth of a warehouse, like the efficiency.
But the thing is, though, if a shipment doesn't come or comes late, then you have workers stay like just like
Idle.
it would not producing anything. But now you'll know the cost of the robots because it'll be a set cost and it'll have what's it called? You'll know the productivity of it if shipment comes late, early.
Yeah.
You'll know exactly the cost that it'll be at.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is like already set up because a lot of this is kind of another veil that's being pulled back right now is that even the like shipments are all tracked down to
yeah.
like the second in terms of like, oh, this thing is going to arrive basically exactly at this time. And, it takes X amount of time to unload it and get it here, like, so there's a lot of metrics that are being captured.
And by the way, I didn't want to say this because maybe it's not emphasized enough, but hiring extra people during the holidays is hard, by the way, because you
need a whole team.
It is not only your company that's hiring extra people, it is other companies that are hiring extra people for the holiday rush. So if you have a set amount of robots that are going to be able to help with that, then it makes things a lot easier for you during that time period.
Imagine if like companies just have robots and then they loan the robots out, like lease them out during these rushes, so they don't have to have like increase the capacity like by buying them, or this have some other third party come in with their robots and help out.
But it makes me wonder because a lot of the times the robots are I would imagine set to particular products, particular tasks.
Yeah.
Maybe unfamiliar with certain warehouses. So because you need to pre-program the route that they probably would take to go to certain areas. So I think that would take some time. So loading out robot, I think eventually in the future, but I do think that is a good idea.
Yeah. The last thing I want to say is that would you be concerned if you were an Amazon employee?
Oh, 100%. 100% I would be concerned.
So they're trying to ease your worries because Amazon pointed out that there are now 700 categories for skilled jobs that previously did not exist in the company. Does that make you feel any better?
Yeah, I mean, if they're producing a little bit more jobs, I guess. If I'm able to transition from doing what a robot would do to another job, like if it's an easy transition, I think that would ease my worries a bit.
I think the issue is that it's skilled jobs. So they don't specify here what types of jobs are being created. Maybe it's like, oh, we need more, like skilled jobs, but these are like AI programmers or robot, like whatever. I mean, like, I think there's going to be a lot of jobs involving AI, but if you are just a warehouse employee that is like effectively, quote unquote, an unskilled worker, it's going to be tough.
So if I show up to the warehouse dressed up as a robot, do you think they'll still give me a paycheck?
$3.
$3.
$3 an hour.
Yeah,
no
so
way.
It's a crime.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think this is like, I didn't realize that they're using so many robots right now.
I did not realize that either.
It's almost 1 million robots being used, and I think probably going into 2025, they're probably going to hit 1 million.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's only going to go like more from here, and then reductions and reductions. And the last thing I will say is that eventually, I feel like they're not going to have warehouses designed for people to work at them. They're just going to have warehouses designed for robots.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see a future like that.
Which is even more efficient than a warehouse designed for humans that have robots that are designed to work in human-made warehouses. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.